Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? Hey, there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We are SideQuestsLive, and today we're going to be playing some sci-fi fantasy custom build RPG made by the lovely people around the table. I am super excited I get to play. My name is Todd. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to click the like, the subscribe, all of that stuff, the follow, spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Big shout out to Moldova and also California. You're in a race to the finish. So thanks very much. So we're going to meet everybody in just a few seconds over here. But remember, if you want to check out our previous games, you can always check it out on YouTube. We've got stuff. We've also got it on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, bunches and bunches of places. Also, and I'm not paid to say this, if anyone wants to sponsor, I'm not gonna. But if I got a shout out to two things. Stream Tunes we're trying out tonight, which is a new thing, but basically it's the music that you're hearing in the background. We tend to also use Sirenscape, which is awesome. Paid account for Sirenscape. And if you want sounds for your game, go check those out because they do amazing work. And finally, and again, this is unpaid, but a big shout out to Michael Freyer Jr.'s YouTube account, who, if you want to learn how to use OBS, and all the crazy plugins and amazing stuff you can do with that, I strongly recommend you go check out their channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's go meet the people at the table. Hey, people at the table.
Hey, Todd.
Thanks very much for letting me play with you and letting me put the play up. So anyway, this is not me running the game. We're being GM'd by our lovely Devin.
Hey, this is Devin. I'll be the GM tonight. You want to go around the table and introduce everyone, or just go right into it?
Yeah, well, okay. It's up to you.
I am Devin. I am everyone.
Devin is our lovely GM, and most often everyone. I am Newlius Fox, and I'm playing Macpacky Kill.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Francois, and I'm playing Philip Hopper, a face hippo. The galactic version of a house hippo.
A bit bigger, a little bigger than a house hippo.
A little bit bigger.
You got a picture bigger than Redbox.
Strong in this one.
Bigger than a house hippo. That is the deepest Canadian cut, by the way.
I love it.
That is amazing. If you don't know what that is, by the way, if you're in California or Moldova, you need to go on YouTube right now. Just pause this shit and go over to YouTube and watch House Hippo. Because that is worth your time.
But word of caution to people following, don't fall down the rabbit hole of looking at other Canadian PSAs unless you want to be severely traumatized.
Oh yeah, there's a reason we're always apologizing. Sorry, let's keep going around the room. Some people unfortunately couldn't make it.
There's me. I'm Brendan. I'm playing as Vanessa. She's an Oon, which is your standard telepathic jellyfish in a jar pod, and I guess we've got our starship now. So see what happens.
Oh yes, and the name of the starship is? Did we have a consensus?
We did. We took a vote. We took two votes actually. It's the Fruit Bat.
Yeah, some of us are sad by this. But you know,
democracy.
There were names that I thought were pretty good, but everybody gave their third vote to Fruit Bat and just totaled up. It's the Fruit Bat.
This reminds me of certain elections like 8 years ago.
Honestly,
that's the problem with first past the post. You gotta go with
representative democracy, and if you don't have that, well.
Actually,
you probably get more
this,
done.
This was
we defaulted to the Electoral College.
Yeah, no, this was because of representative voting, because we each had 3 votes, and Fruit Bat was almost everyone's third choice, which meant that everyone's first and second choice weren't picked. So we just went with everyone's third choice.
I mean,
if no one's happy,
we
it's
could have
a
been
consensus.
Yeah, exactly. That is democracy, Canadian democracy. What we really want is no one to be absolutely happy, but no one to be absolutely crushed either. Just right down the middle.
Like a fruit bat, we can live with it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a game, guys. Y'all can change it at any time.
You can get a can of paint and a vacuum suit and go out on the hall with your mag boots, and good luck to you. Probably we wouldn't even notice for like weeks.
The last time the crew of the Fruit Bat were together, they were working on cleaning their new ship of all of the remnants of it having been owned by the Galactic Alliance.
We kind of stole a starship.
Yeah. The guano comes later.
So in doing that, you made a deal with a garage owner who gave you some tips, and then used those tips to further his own goals, but also yours. And basically, you've now got yourself a ship that is, as far as you know, free and clear. It's still a T-43 Helldriver, which is a nice ship. It's nicer than any of you could ever afford by leaps and bounds. It's still a classic ship, which means like they don't make them new anymore. It's like people who are warp heads might enjoy having a good look under the engine, as it were. But it's not being like pinged as a Galactic Alliance ship.
Nice. So it's like somewhere above a Honda Civic.
I kind of picture it as like a Corvette from the 80s.
Yeah,
nice.
He described it in like really nice terms. Actually, when I picture it in my head, I assume that it has, you know, like the Transformer Hot Rod when he becomes Rodimus Prime, and it's like a big sort of a big like I guess just a cube behind him. Like there's the sort of I guess he wasn't like a motorhome, but you know what I mean. And then he has the thing in the front with like the flames and those like chrome pipes that go from the sides, and they kind of bend up and then they shoot back. Not that the ship would run on.
I might be aging myself, but when you said Hot Rod to Rodimus Prime, I just keep you got the guts, dude.
It's you got the touch, dude. You got the power. You got the touch, not you got the guts, man.
Well, thank you for telling me. It's only taken like almost 40 years for me to realize that, but I appreciate it.
So we're all boys who grew up in the 80s. That's the moral of this story.
That is the glue that
Let's
binds.
go with Peeps, and we've got it good.
Yeah.
I guess yes, we're not all boys.
And to be fair,
born in the 80s, but you know,
I recently said the difference. Like for almost 20 years, I misspelled Q and Q. Like the difference between QUEUE and CUE. They were just all QUEUE.
I just spell it with a Q.
You know, like my pool cue.
Well, that's different, Jean-Luc.
Anyway,
back to the space.
Frank Tucker has done whatever magic needs to get done, and eventually you're in his garage, and it's like crisp new paint and then distressed a bit so it doesn't look like it's brand new. The engine's all fixed up, its things are tweaked so you can't follow the ion trail as easily, and he comes over to you with a bread box sized black metal box that has some wires in it, and he comes up and goes, all right, this is the last piece of the old ship. You got to get rid of it. I recommend shooting it into a planet's atmosphere or a sun to make it look like an accident. And anyone following this will probably think that that's what happened.
So we have to murder the black box.
I figure we could shoot it into the sun. You think we could just stick it into the warp core, you know?
Yeah.
But maybe let's not do that. If you recommended sending it into the sun, we've got torpedo tubes.
Does our warp core run on junk? Because I wouldn't want to put anything that's not supposed to be in the warp core in the warp core.
We just rattle around in there for a bit. You guys know the minimum you need to know about warp engineering to know that it'll probably be okay.
Hey, autopilot. What's the verdict?
Hey, I've got a D6 in warp. I've got a D8 in warp. I should know something about
okay, yeah,
physics.
Don't put junk in the
this
warp
stuff still breaks my brain. Like Einstein said, it shouldn't happen. I spent almost 1,000 years drifting. You guys tell me you can just like bip between star systems?
PC, should I post the spreadsheet in the chat?
I don't think we need to.
Okay. Yes, I made a spreadsheet of skills.
So, okay. Well, do you guys want to warp over to the nearest star and just wave bye-bye to the black box?
We got it fuel. I say we go a few stars over, and besides which, like, bipping between the stars? This is insane.
Well, wait.
I never thought I'd see this.
We found this ship here, so what's our cover story? Just because if we put it here, like, it would make sense, potentially, if there's an investigation, to be like, well, it was here, it somehow ended up there when it fell under attack. Where was it going? We intercepted it at the middle, like in between the hypergate travel. Anyone remember where it was bound for? Yes, we did. Did we not? I believe I rolled well. I just didn't write it down.
Roll for device.
So you have no idea where it was going originally. You know that it just happened to intersect with the ship between the Haggy and you. Or the Haggy and the previously named Crusader 3.
Could we, instead of destroying the black box, could we read what is in the black box?
It's essentially the stuff that MacPack had already given to you. So you've got like navigation logs, you've got like transponders, you've got like just information about the ship. But the main thing the black box does is it's kind of got a universal beacon so that anyone who's looking for this specific ship can find it.
It's got its
that seems like
transponder
something
on.
we ought to get rid of.
Yeah, we
Like,
should
in a hurry.
get that out of here.
So we can eject it into a sun, but it will, like, essentially this transponder is the blinking box that says this is where it is. It's like your phone finder.
Yeah.
It's almost never used. Like, this is only like a lot of, like, generally it's like last latch dish effort because it's hard to track a ship by the box. Most people would do like any other number of things to track it first. And even then, like, your ship, like the refurbished ship, has its own empty black box that looks like a blast box. So like any, like if a like
is it bigger than a bread box?
It's about the size of a bread box, yes.
Could you fit a house hippo in it?
Probably 2. But it looks like if a Galactic Alliance inspector showed up on board and asked to see your information, you could show them where your fake black box is, and it would pass most inspections.
So let's eject.
We just hide them inside, and they'll just make little beeping noises. That's where Peeps is. That's through all this.
I'm with the other Malo, the one that's here. We should eject it, put it into a place where it's kind of destroyed, because if anyone finds it, they might know that we were here.
Ooh. We should also maybe rig up an SOS call, all scrambly and like, I used to try to do that when I was on a cell phone and I didn't want to talk to my boss. I'd be like, I'm going through a tunnel.
Has anyone seen the first episode of Blackadder Series 4? Because that's what that reminded me of right now.
I haven't.
Rowan Atkinson trying to fake a false signal. Yeah, but it's like a wonder.
I just figured 23rd century Bueller.
But what about if we get rid of it in the closest sun to the bridge that we broke?
Let's do that. I'm game.
Or just like yuck it.
Putting it in the sun sounds like a good idea.
They tried to cross to go to that bridge and it broke and something went there, a wire. And...
One thing though, we kind of destroyed a major piece of intergalactic architecture, which I don't have any clue how that works. That should not work with physics. But do we really want to return to the scene of the crime?
Well, we don't have to. We just have to go to the star. I'm guessing that's right. It's not right next to the star, and there's a lot of other things in that system.
Yeah, this is a binary star system. You've got
even better.
Red dwarf stars.
Let's just tuck it into the largest one, because red dwarfs are pretty miserly in their temperature and fuel expenditure.
Again,
right, so as you're
stuff.
As you're getting ready to head out, you see one of the refugees, one of the prisoners that you rescued. It's the Oon who was the spokesperson for all the prisoners. His name was Jean. He's like a tiny little Oon in like a tiny little jar, and he comes floating into the garage. And now he's got like a big old like gravitron maul strapped across the back of his tube, and like as he'll like float 3 steps forward and then kind of float down and drag the graviton hammer on the ground for a second and then pop back up and continue along. So he floats into the garage and motions to you before you leave off.
Okay. I'll go speak to him because we can speak in that like pictorial telepathy really quickly.
Yeah.
Probably like, what up, my dude?
Yo.
Oh my god.
Just before you all headed out, I have another prisoner who thinks he has information that you might want, and I wanted to find out if it's cool if I send anyone along to talk to you, just because you might have your own thing going on and don't want to, step on any toes, step on any tentacles.
I think this is maybe a question for the face, but I mean, my inclination is to say, yeah, why not? Information's good.
Okay. So the John kind of spins around and mime like a couple of 7 tentacles come up to where its sound processor comes out, and he whistles through it, and from around the other side of the garage stumbles this tall, gangly Rodon, who's like it's got like 3 legs and 3 arms and like a trunk that kind of comes off at like a weird 45-degree angle, and then a head that kind of sits like on top of the weird misshapen body. It's covered in like green vines, but then where its face is just like a whole bunch of different bright red flowers. And he walks around, or it walks around, and it nods at y'all in a very Rodon-like fashion, and says, once again, thanks for saving us, Governor. Thank you very much. I thought I would like to spread some information around. Thought you might want to hear it.
All right, let's hear it. I say telepathically.
My name's Bill, Red Bill. Not the name I grew up with, but the name I got now. And I used to work up in the kitchen in the governor's house, but he didn't like me face, so I got fired, and that's what ended up on the prison ship. But I still got some friends up in the governor's mansion. So I can hear all sorts of little peepee tods, and little bits of information come scuttling down to me, and I thought it might be in your best interest to hear some, and it might splash back on me in the occasional favor if you're willing to do so.
Wait a minute. Can you cook?
Yeah. Mostly vegetarian.
That's okay. I think you want to ride with us?
I gotta cook for the other prisoner, you know?
Yeah, I think this is more of like we give
contact.
He gives us information, and we give him some kind of
I gave you a fucking double burger and cheese and fries and whiskey machine, and you want to cook?
No.
Wait. That can just keep doing that? I thought that was a microwave.
So
Backpack clearly has no comment.
So Tom should maybe like roll some guile here and see whether this Rodon is telling the truth.
Sure.
And then
I'm
maybe
so innocent and believing that it almost loops back on itself like a feedback loop where it's like, I believe you. I believe you. I believe. Do I?
That just sounds like a crit fail.
That's a 2.
Well, it's not a crit fail.
That's. Oh wait. Hold on one second. I upped
plus
my
2
guile.
because you. Yeah.
I have my guile, so I'm actually rolling a different dice here. Hold on. D8.
Oh.
D8.
Yeah, D8 is better than
plus 2.
D4.
That's a total of 6.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't think that Red Bill's lying. You don't know a lot of Rodons. You don't know a lot of aliens in general. But he speaks with he speaks with an easy confidence that either he's a very good liar or he's not lying, or somewhere in the middle.
You I like. Make me a cheeseburger and we got a deal. It can be a veggie. That's fine.
Veggie burger with veggie cheese coming up.
What can he tell us about the governor and the governor's house? I don't think we know anything about this.
Well, you know that like the governor is the chief magistrate of Knotwood. He's the Galactic Alliance kind of outpost commander. He's the one who's in charge of pretty much everything that goes on the planet. So like if there are troops, he's in charge of the troops. If there's new taxes, he's in charge of it. If there's like patrols, he's got a say in it. He's basically the guy who runs the moon. And his name is
that just sounds so amazing.
Governor Renauld. He is a human. As far as you know, you haven't seen him, but you've heard the name. Most of the prisoners think that he's a real piece of shit. They probably also have never met him personally, but
real POS, person of
status.
Yeah. Person of status. Probably got there by an electoral system where they all got their third vote.
Whenever I walk into those stores and they have those point of sale systems and it says POS on it, like I'm never interpreting POS as point of sale. Like it's always like this thing is a piece of shit.
Put your card on this piece of shit. Oh, it didn't work. Big surprise.
No two are the same. Seriously. They could have.
Okay, so let's hear what he has to say.
So I heard from me friends the last month, there has been a crazy dinner every night. They've been whining, they've been dining, they've been eating all sort of fancy shit. Well, the staff has been getting nothing but scraps, and the people have been getting nothing but text. Every night it's been the news in wine and duck from Galago, and it's fancy dinner. But tomorrow night, the pre-spec'd menu, standard scope. So the thinking is that for the last month or so, the old governor's been whining and dining some megacorp people, and they're leaving today.
Well, Vanessa has a severe hatred for the mega corporations because they're the reason why she's on the run, like on the lam, and why her research was destroyed. And so she is automatically interested in the story and knowing what might be happening on this moon. She has a deep and abiding distrust for Joy Corp, which is one of the mega corporations. I guess we have two missions now then. We can try and scope out what kind of ships might be leaving today. And of course, they might be a little bit pissed off because they might have planned to leave via that jump ring that we destroyed. And so we might sort of wait in space to see who's trying to leave. And of course, we also have to go and destroy the black box. So what do you guys want to do?
MacPack feels both a disgust and hatred for the corporations, but seems to be rather afraid and wanting to be under the radar from anything too high level, like up the corporate chain, but at the same time is certainly agreeable to sticking it to the man. I'm wondering, I don't think that this is viable, but just want to throw it out there. I'm wondering if there's something that we can do with this black box, like if there's a way we can put it on a ship without that ship knowing that we were here. Almost like this is a mischievous thing, because that's a transponder, right? So they're going to follow it and they're going to wonder what happened to this crew. And if it's on another ship, it has no, we had no sign of being there, that would just be fun.
That's a great idea. Like, we once did that to my buddy back. We took his phone, we put it, Find My Phone, we put it on, they had these wheeled contraptions called buses, and we put it on there, and he just spent all like week till the battery ran out. And then we realized it was theft. I'm kind of okay with that.
I feel like Vanessa wouldn't understand any of these cultural references. You know, like Omicron is like a totally ocean planet.
Well, and
you know, buses.
The Earth that I left was very different. Assuming there's even an Earth still. Wait, is there even an Earth still?
The GM is left. Do you guys want to try to sneak aboard that mega corporation ship and plant the black box there?
Well,
maybe steal something and then sneak off again?
Unless that, I would love to, but unless that, okay, they're coming back. But unless that ship is grounded, how are they not going to know that we were like approaching them and docking?
I don't know. I feel like we could be pretty sneaky. MacPack can detach pieces of its body.
I can do that, but we have to be docked with the ship, and the ship would see us coming. We don't have a way around that part.
What about this?
We don't have.
There's going to be a bunch of wined and dined rich assholes. Their guard will be somewhat low, although the crunched bridge might raise that guard back up again. But we see what benefits we could have and see what nonsense, we might be. Apparently, I'm still playing my raccoon character from last campaign.
Wait a minute. This was about whining and dining. What if we could somehow figure out a way on board as part of the catering staff?
We're gonna be caterers, and then I'm gonna do unmentionable things to the soup.
Devin, when you left, we came up with the bright, probably terrible idea that we would sneak aboard this mega corporation ship and plant the black box in that ship and
or maybe
steal
on one
whatever
of the
we can,
shuttles that's on there,
and hopefully get out unseen. Although I feel like we're like the Ninja Turtles. Were you seen?
If you understood your reference, we should all wear a trench coat and a hat, and nobody will recognize us.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you would want to get onto the ship before it takes off, and then off the ship before it takes off, so that you're not getting off the ship when you're in space, because only one of you can survive that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the thought is we can pose as either catering staff, like unloading cargo. MacPack can fill the need of any and can slightly like adjust their tone and has this weird pinhead voice anywhere that they just look like a hacked, like cobbled together piece of Android, because that's what they are. So I could essentially pose as any type of catering, carrying, weird thing that you want. Just don't expect me to be overly personable.
So Red Bill is there. And he's like, yeah, I guess I could probably pull a few strings and see if I can get you all hired for the day.
All right. I feel like this is going to require a lot of guile rolls. So, Todd, I hope your dice are hot.
I hope so too. But just for a point, Tom, which I never described actually, he's a human colonist popsicle from like 1,000 years before or something, unthawed and freezer burnt. But he's busy blinking and like missing the whole point, just being like, huh?
The perfect face.
You'll do fine.
You, sir, you remind me of an old video back on Earth. Let me tell you about it.
So Red Bill heads out and is like, I'll be back as soon as I can. I'll try to get you some IDs. And then he kind of goes over to Tucker. Is like, these guys have any money? And Tucker's like, no, but tell me what y'all need, and I will chip in for 10%.
And Tom leans over the guy's shoulder from behind and is like, plus we totally saved your ass from prison. And I mean that. I don't know if your species has asses. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make assumptions.
I assume you'd be doing this. Anything you that you feel necessary, likely to give to me, that'd be great. But I'm just saying, if you had a little bit of money, I might be able to get you IDs and uniforms and proper work passes. Whereas with no money, it's just the word of an ex-cook to another cook who might not want to lose their job, getting 4 people onto a megacorp ship with nefarious intentions. And
I mean, you don't lead with that.
So, well, MacPack hearing this looks over and tries to emulate to the best as possible. Frank, so 10%, huh?
10%.
So for 10%, he'll get us some passes, some fake IDs, stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is going forward. This is not this job.
Oh, 10% permanently? That seems crazy to me.
Okay. And then Frank walks over to like an old ship and like starts casually hitting with a hammer.
How
What's
about
Look at all the
10%?
work I gotta do.
Yeah.
Look at all the work I got here to do instead. Oh,
Okay,
you
Tom.
lie.
So
let's negotiate
MacPack
this.
walks over and also says, "All right, well, about that junk pile, can I hang out there whenever I want?"
Need to take anything?
Yeah, probably.
You'll
Then
probably
no.
also leave
That's-
stuff.
Well, 10% plus. I'll show you if I take anything. How's that?
If you take anything, you'll pay me for it.
10%. This is the
No, you
little.
pay me full, and then you'll give me 10% of whatever jobs you take.
Okay, hang on. I don't
So you're
think that
telling
we
me I
wanna
have to
enter
be
into
careful
an agreement.
around
How
your
about-
junk pile.
How about this month? This month, 10%. We may need to skedaddle out a system. We don't have to wire you stuff from the far end, and we're good for our word. Like, I'm good for my word is literally the only thing I woke up with. Like, I literally woke up saying, my word.
Fine. This month, 10%, and if you go any further, we'll renegotiate. And if you're all dead, no skin off my face.
We can renegotiate that at that time. The death.
Okay. So, how soon can you get us this stuff?
2 hours?
Okay. Does that give us enough time? Because I'm trying to think about. I mean, we are in a solar system, and we can
Mhm.
move at faster than light speed.
Mhm.
So,
Which blows
you
my
know,
brain.
we could
MacPack's
could
still wondering
scope
about the
out-
junk.
scope out other parts of the system, or we can just use our, legs, and I guess I hover,
Now, I'm-
and we could walk over to the Megacorp ship and just take a look at it from the outside. I don't know if
I'm
I don't
still
know if
kind
anybody
of
can help us to locate it.
I'm still kind of also thinking we should probably get rid of the black box like ASAP and ideally into a star. I like the idea of a chase its tail, but they'll find that tail and be like, wait a minute, and then start looking for the ship. Whereas if we make it look like we exploded, then they're not going to look.
That's true, and we have a couple of hours.
Yeah. Like you could pile into the fruit bat and take off. But generally speaking, a spaceship taking off and then coming back within 2 hours is a little more suspicious than a ship taking off and leaving. Someone might notice, someone might not notice. It's a big moon.
We also technically have that other transport, don't we? The one the prisoners were in?
We exploded it on the bridge.
Yeah,
Oh,
you rammed it into a bridge.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
what made the bridge go boom.
Like,
Yeah.
I would
wasn't
like to
staring
try to
off
just
of it.
throw the box to the bridge, but I don't have an arm that strong yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. We all have goals.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm good with either. I'm good with ditching the black box in the sun, or the, I guess, red dwarf. Or
Little
one
sun.
of the two red dwarves. And but I'm also good with trying to smuggle it onto the mega corporation ship, just because I think that'd be funny.
Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead.
So what do
What
y'all
you
want
guys
to do?
prefer?
I vote ditch the box and then do the clandestine thing that'll make us money. That's my vote.
Okay, I agree with that.
Okay. So that's 2 of you. That's good enough. You take off. So you
What about
pile
you?
into the.
Francois, what do you think?
It's a hard one because nothing guaranteed that if we take the box with us to I would call it the heist, like that we would be able to sneak it inside the ship. So we would just bring a beacon with us the whole time. So it might be safer to just ditch it in the sun. by the way, even if it's a little bit suspicious. But
But the
If
2
you-
minute, as Devin said, like the getting up and landing back down. So if we're gonna do that, first of all, are we gonna do the clandestine thing en route, or are we going to do it like before we take off? Because as GM said, taking off and then landing a little bit later sounds kind of sus as opposed to taking off and leaving. And this is a ship that we're going to be sneaking on with or without the black box. So the order would have to follow that if we're going to do the thing on the ship, whatever we're going to do, it should be not at the same time as like we take off, because like we don't want to take off, shoot the thing into the sun, land, and then go do the thing. Because
What about this? What if hold on, I'm trying to remember name. What's Bo's character's name?
Dante.
Dante. What if Dante and Peeps? I mean, Dante's just out of that coma, and Peeps is still hiding in the fake black box. But what if they took the ship and ditched the real black box while we do the thing, and then we can call them and maybe meet up if we need to?
Yeah, they're
I
totally
guess that's
okay
up
with
to
that
the-
plan.
Yeah. Okay.
all right.
So
this would be really brutal if the GM is like, and they get attacked by space pirates,
You
and you're
lose your ship.
standing there waiting.
Oh, you saw my notes.
Oh no.
I mean,
All right,
they just
yeah.
fly
With
out.
Easter, I saw
Wait a
so
bit,
many
fly back.
alien memes with like eggs and face huggers, and I just
Happy
kept
Easter.
every time I keep thinking of a character Devin played saying, "Try an egg."
well, split the party, they say. It's always a good idea, they say.
Yeah, I think that they always say splitting the party is a good idea. Thank you, Francois.
Oh God!
That should be a teacher.
So the fruit bat lifts off, being piloted by Dante and crewed by Peeps, and you're sure you'll see them again. Like, why would they
This just
abandon
right?
you?
so bad.
Like, one is a confessed pirate wannabe, and the other
Wait, do
is
we agree to do this? I'm scared.
It's a maniac marshmallow.
Maniac Marshmallow. Now that should be a t-shirt.
Peeps is a
So-
very cheerful marshmallow. Although two things can be true. They might also be a maniac. Who knows?
So the fruit bat takes off into space, to go toward a sun. Is there anything that they should do? Yes. Is there anything that they would think to do? Probably not. Let's roll the dice.
Oh no. Roll sensors. Raise shields.
the castle, boys.
Do either of those have shields or sensors?
I will
think they
tell
do.
you in
Oh yeah,
just
you've
a
been
moment.
keeping the spreadsheet.
Oh, crap.
I built the spreadsheet.
Beeps has a shield.
Peeps has a D6 in shields. Dante has warp and pilot.
Okay.
I mean, at
So
least
neither
they
of them
can
has
fly
sensors.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, that's it. Neither of them have sensors.
Okay. So they will definitely get to where they're going. Probably. All right. So about an hour passes, and let's say you see the Zoan, Dr. Dale. She arrives with a package. You met Dr. Dale previously. She offered to be the doctor for the prisoner group and to do any medicine or like cybernetic biotech stuff for you. She's like she's a Zoan, and she's got a quirk where her protoplasm is filled with really old medical tools.
Ooh.
Wait a sec.
Like
so
she's got like a
basically
stethoscope kind of floating
gelatinous
around in there,
cube.
one of those hots with like the mirror. There's a bone saw. Yeah, but not a cube.
Okay.
And she arrives and she's got like a parcel of uniforms that
Can she
she's
pull
like,
it
yeah,
out of her torso and give it to
more or
us?
less.
MacPack is oddly attracted.
I
Not
was
oddly.
going to say
no
the
shame.
same thing. Like, I've seen some interesting gelatinous cube memes, and yeah. Anyway, don't ask.
So she pulls out this package full of uniforms and ID cards, and her comment is, "I got these from former patients. They are no longer using them. Your ID should check out unless someone does a deep search. I will not ask any further questions. Have a good day."
You are the best
Thank
doctor
you.
ever.
Thank you. Well, I think I will take the, I don't know, the chrysalid looking one. Like the
You get
hippo
like a
that
uniform.
had
It's got like it mostly fits. One of the legs is a little too short, and there's like an extra arm in the back, but you can kind of like tie it in a knot and make it look like an apron.
Oh yeah, it could fit because I'm not sure. I can check if that's one my size.
Nope, that's the best fit.
Okay, so I will take the chrysalid one and make it like an apron then.
Perfect. Yeah, everyone for Vanessa, it's like a beret and an apron. Tom has a tailcoat that is just a little too big, and MacPack, he's a droid. They're a droid. You don't give uniforms to droids.
It's just an armband that we.
I have a
property of.
white baker's cap and a black slight bow tie with the fake collar.
Just a magnet.
Yeah,
Not
of
a-
course
not a
it's
magnet,
magnetic.
Not a magnet.
Click.
Of course it's magnetic. How else would it stick to me?
I forget my
Uh,
piano lessons.
And then Red Bill shows up with some work orders. Like, I got you all work for the day, doing some loading and unloading. Please don't fuck anything up while you're in the courtyard. And if you do, we don't know each other. Fair?
Who?
Fair.
Who's this?
Perfect. All right, so you've got uniforms, you've got IDs. You take a train into the capital. Takes you about 20 minutes on like a bullet train. And then
question. Can I, like the graviton hammer, can I change his appearance to look like a spatula?
A graviton spatula?
Yeah.
It would be really big.
Okay, maybe
A
the big
novelty size spatula.
Let's save that for when you level it up to D8 plus 4.
I want to eat that burger.
Oh, but
You
okay.
should have thought of
Okay,
that before.
the sword can also be used for cooking, so it's less suspicious than a graviton hammer.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a graviton meat tenderizer.
Yes.
All right, so you take the bullet train into capital, like into the capital. There's a lot more people here than like you've all been in big crowds, but this is like a lot of people. Like there's probably 2 million people across the there's probably about 2 million people on the entire moon, and 1.5 million of them are in this one city. I think it's not as big as like New York or Toronto, but it's like the size of Philadelphia or Boston.
I will call this New Boston.
And it's pretty easy to find the governor's mansion because it's it's essentially at the top of a hill. It's at like the exact north pole of the moon. He sometimes jokes that he's Santa Claus, much to his friends' amusement and the children of the city's disparaging nature, because he is not a very good Santa.
I think for that reason alone, we have to steal something from him.
Hells yes.
All right, so you arrive at. So Red Bill gave you some directions on where to go once you arrive there, so you don't look like it's your first catering gig ever, which it is. But he tells you, like, you know to go to the servant entrance. You know to talk to the Wrath who's out back with the clipboard, because he's the one who's in charge of giving the directions to. You know not to make eye contact with anyone who's not wearing a uniform. That's a big one, especially in the governor's mansion. Eye contact is as the same as a slap in the face for a lot of these people.
I will try my best not to stare.
All right, so you get to the catering place, and you see the Wrath, as Red Bill said you would. It's this gigantic beast of a creature. A lot of Wrath have like decorative skulls on it, and this one has like onions, like just giant yellow onions sitting on its shoulders in a ring. And he's given his life to the massacre of foodstuffs.
Thank God we sent away Peeps. That could have been a disaster.
So you get toward the Wrath, and it's like he kind of glowers at you. Where are your papers?
Right here.
We have papers. I think that while we're presenting the papers, we should distract him with like, we have some supplies that really need to be refrigerated like really soon.
Did you guys bring anything?
Well, I assume we have the black box with us.
I just pointed at the droid.
I thought you gave the black
box.
box.
They took the black box away.
Yeah.
We have some.
The droid keeps them in their internal refrigerator, but it's gonna run out of juice any minute now. We got to get inside with this, bud. I mean, you don't want the
EQ lights start to like the pin art face.
Okay, roll me a guile.
Oh, that's you, not me.
Me? Or?
Anyone can roll. Don't let Tom roll.
GM said I couldn't roll. It's got to be.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
All right. 3 + 2 is 5.
Okay. So the Wrath kind of grabs your papers and gives them a quick look, and it's like, yeah, take it to the fridge. It's down this hall, second right.
Down this right second hall. Got it.
And are you going to where the kitchen is, or are you going to go somewhere else entirely?
Yeah. No, we're going to go and pretend to blend in for a little bit, at least. Besides which, I have a soup to ruin.
Stand back. Goods are spoiling.
Well, just for information, I think Tom as my transponder. So
okay.
I will always be close to Tom for this region.
Good to know. I was going to ask what was going on with that when the bullets start flying, but I guess now I don't have to.
Oh, no.
And by bullets, I mean disintegration blasts.
Oh, right, because you literally are a phase hippo, so you can accidentally...
I'm actually in VR in my bedroom at this moment.
Lucky. The future is
now. So you start trying to blend in. None of you are very good at it, but everyone also is just too busy working to care. One of the benefits of being a last-minute addition is that they already had enough people, so you're not like slowing anything down or getting too much in the way. Everyone seems to be moving off in their own little direction and paying you very little mind. You discover that the megacorp that is has a ship here is Happy Corp. It's their logo is just an emblazoned smiley face. Decades ago, it was a hazardous waste company, and it merged with a personal protective gear company, hence the Ha and the P. So they do mostly the worst thing you can imagine with the best protection that you can get. It seemed to make sense that they would go together. Happy Corp.
I sell muffins on the side to maintain the image.
Don't eat the muffins, though, because they are very dangerous.
Happy Corp, where we will feed you toxic waste.
You can't
Brought to you by Mom.
You can't prove that they're feeding you toxic waste, because all the journalists that brought that up are gone.
Can I do a sort of a sweep? Like, I can hold various like plates and cups and maybe cleaning supplies. Like, I feel like I could pretty easily pass as like a cleaner, because I just have all these like blue neoprene tentacle sleeves. And maybe I have like a little spritz can for,
You're a
for
bustopus.
spritzing windows and things. Can I'm just gonna sort of slowly make my way around this sort of mansion area to see if I can kind of scope out where any valuables might be or any important meetings might be taking place. And then I want to try and relay this information back to the other members of the team. I don't know if MacPack can also eject like a mini self.
I can, but first off, MacPack wants to roll mainframe. And crits on my first D6 roll on my new copper dice.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So you discover that the mainframe in the Governor Mansion is pretty well protected. A lot of stuff is encrypted and locked off. You can't just access it, but you do get a floor pan. You get a timetable. You get a partial guest list and a partial employee list. You have access to a ton of information, just not anything classified.
Okay. So employee list, general ship layout. So can I assume from that I'm able to relay this to, does anyone have a PDA? Could just connect it to someone. Tom, looking your way.
And you know
you have
that
a Palm Pilot?
The Happy Core ship is going to be leaving in about an hour.
Okay, so we gotta make a move, and we gotta do it quickly. So I like to think can I upload this to someone?
You're looking for Tom. I'm not there. I'm in the kitchen, and I've taken the big soup bowl.
You split the party again.
Fridge.
You're taking a big soup bowl as if we're avoiding the whole Canadian PSA announcements things.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
You can shoot all the information to everyone's PV. It's like the little handheld device thing.
Boom.
I'm busy.
Tom gets it on a Palm Pilot and slips on a boiling pot of soup while talking about their life. Brought to you by Canadian.
I'm getting engaged tomorrow. Horrifying. And to answer Vanessa's question, you find that there's a lot of stately bedrooms for like the governor himself and for guests. So if you're trying to steal personal valuables, they would probably be there. Anything that is valuable and is with the Megacorp people, they're probably in the process of getting packed up and moved now, so that might be a good time to make a grab for stuff. Or you could go to one of the governor's room and try to get something there.
So the governor's room, I could detach a probe to head. So it's about like what something can be, whether it's a treasure that can be carried or whether it's information. And I'm wondering if the governor's room might have information. I'm thinking I could detach a probe, but the trade-off for this would be that I would have to give it the skill that I would want. So I would effectively roll a like just base skill. I could detach a probe, give it my devices, and see if they're can I tell from the map whether they're that I downloaded by mainframe whether there are any devices worth interfacing with in the governor's room?
If there are, it's like on the classified level.
Okay. So do we want to go pick up cargo or do we want to go there? Because I can send a probe one way, but I can't do both.
Or think about our target. Do we want to screw with the corp or the governor?
I think we want to screw with whatever. Well, we need money.
Okay, probably
governor's room might have money.
People who are leaving, so that they raise less of a stink. If we rob the guy who stays here on the planet, which theoretically we're going to hang out on for a while, that could lead to issues.
Yeah, so governor is on the ship, right? And well, the corp is on the ship. Whatever's on the ship and is the people that we like the least, let's take from.
I kind of want to just do a quick pass through some areas carrying a tray, room service, and like, I know, have a little, have my little badge, be like, just to give a quick eyeball over like what's valuable, what are people, and I'm reading mostly body language, because I don't know what's valuable in the future. If it looks big and shiny, but also if people look somewhat guarded or like proud of something. So I'm just trying to cast my eye around and surreptitiously walk.
Okay.
What?
Guile?
Oh, it's Guile. Sweet. I do have.
Well, you did. I will just resume the situation. We have Vanessa that is scanning the environment. We have MacPack that is hacking to the mainframe. And you have me facepalming at Tom ruining a soup.
Oh God, you're in the room here. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what?
Your skin
Vanessa's
is so
probably
soft.
in the place to see the like scout because you're like doling out stuff. I'm assuming it's.
They're enticed by soft skin. It's extra great that Peeps isn't here right now because
I hiccup suspiciously.
Why is your penis so red?
All right. So you told me to roll a guile, or is Vanessa going to do it? All right. I'll roll a guile. I only got a 5.
Okay. As you are walking around trying to spot people or things, you walk past an oon that has like a gold band around their containment pod, and you like slightly brush past it as you go by, and this thing just spins on you and is like, "Watch where you're going, you worthless piece of shit! You're not paid to be clumsy."
And I think about
better right
what I often think about when I slip away, because I know this is telepath, right? So I'm thinking as they're looking at me, oh no, and then I go to my happy place, which is this strange dream that I had over and over and over again. It's a hallway.
We're playing cheese pizza all to yourself.
It is, and it's getting cold on the table behind me, and then there's a hallway, and it's linoleum floor, and then it switches to shag carpet, and at the end is a door, and it's closed, but there's a light on the other side, and I can see a little bit of light coming through, and I start going down the hall, wondering and calling out, and it's this weird childlike voice, and echoing through the halls. And just as I'm about to get to the door, it opens and I get sucked out into the vacuum of space on the other side. And I'm pinwheeling through the void, gasping for air. And then I kind of pop back out of it. I'm sorry, sir. Ma'am, being...
Yes,
sorry.
you better be sorry. Now, be more careful in the future. This Oon is clearly hot shit. It's got 3 chrysalids that are each carrying like travel trunks that are like heavy as hell looking. They're like, it has like platinum bands, and they have like an symbols emblazoned on the side. You can't read them, but it's probably like monogrammed luggage.
How far away am I?
I think you are in a different room.
All right.
You could try to...
Tired, guys. What do you say on the radio?
Wait, didn't I say I was going with Todd beforehand? Tom?
I thought Tom and Philip were together.
Yeah.
And then MacPack was doing the hacking from the kitchen.
No, the hacking is wireless. I could do that on the way.
That's true. Okay, then MacPack is also there.
I remembered saying that I was following as like the carrier of the soup or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then,
okay.
We'll deliver that
MacPack
to
is
the
also
head
there.
table, right, and like not making eye contact with the governor. Smooth it all. Made presentation matters. Come on.
Cover the cum.
Amongst other things, and it's decorative, and then we'll walk
MacPack
away.
just looks up and starts to like flow red, and then looks down immediately and says, "Would you like me to flog him, sir?"
I was like, oh yes, flog him.
And then
Does he
just
roll
like
for this? Like, does Tom take damage here?
no, I have tentacles, but we haven't really established that they can do anything aside from hold something. So
Yeah,
it's,
it's
just
like,
gonna, it's just gonna be like a wet noodle. It's not gonna hurt.
It's not. It's more like getting whipped with an electrical cable.
Where
not-
were you like 10 minutes ago? That would have helped.
Pleasant. All right, and then the Oon.
I didn't want you to
brings
drop the
boxes
soup, but
away.
now.
And the Oon and its chrysalid carters are probably going up into the megacorp ship.
MacPack. I'll say this over like real quietly. Can you stick one bit of yourself on the luggage so I can follow them?
Yes.
Or there are 3 chrysalids who are like carrying the bags. Like, could you?
I could be on the
follow
luggage.
them?
We could, but I could also detach the part of myself to be on the luggage. And I don't know, I'm there. I can't think of anything else better at the time. So I feel like for my character to be like, yeah, I haven't done this yet. What is a yeah, I'm gonna detach it on the luggage. I'm gonna make it detach it on like the wait, what is the I don't know how deep I should go into this, because I'm like, what does the luggage look like? Is it all going to the same place?
You don't know.
Is there anything different?
They're all trunks.
All right. Yeah, fine. Why not? Let's send the probe there.
Okay.
I'm gonna detach the probe. I'm gonna keep it at
You don't
I'll
have
put-
to give it any skills if you don't want to.
Yeah,
but-
I was wondering if I'm gonna keep it all at like base D4. I'm wondering if I should give it devices because I can either transfer my devices to it and then like I have a D4, or I and give it my D6 plus 1, or I could keep the D6 plus 1.
Hey, Hopper, can you cause a bit of a distraction to keep the chrysalids' attention for a sec?
Yeah. It would
Nothing-
just like I take the first meal that is beside me, and I just like grab it and I just like walk close by and I just fall on the ground and I just spill everything on the chrysalid.
Ah,
That's
there
brutal.
is like a splash of a red-looking gelatinous thing. There's like a hunk of possibly rabbit meat. You can't really tell. There's some like beans. The chrysalids like are like trying very hard not to fall over because they're like carrying this huge trunk while also still trying to walk. There is like a big mess. Everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
I'm sorry, my transponders.
Okay, while doing that, MacPack does detach the probe and it puts it on one of the pieces of luggage, specifically because it's easier to detach from something that can't feel, and transfers devices.
Okay.
But so I guess base skill and sensors, like we haven't really established this, so I figure like D4 sensors because I'm not transferring any pips.
Yeah, it hasn't got any skills other than the one you transfer, and no combat ability.
Is my transfer of this pip what I was thinking it would be is because the +1 is kind of like MacPack, so I would be nerfed to like a D4 +1, and the devices would be of D6, but just D6 would be on the probe.
Yeah, it's just as long as you remember that.
Okay, I will. So MacPack will reserve the +1. The probe cannot have the +1, despite being a +1, which I guess kind of makes sense.
All right, so you've now got a probe on some luggage and a distraction caused.
And by the way this is like MacPack has a circular bits of chains running through. Essentially, it looks like links that are just seamlessly wounding through them through the character distinction, and one just pops out and just is by the tentacles, just grabs one, the rest forms seamlessly and attaches to it, and then it just seems to stick. Don't ask how.
The chrysalid that was carrying the luggage that you've attached to is kind of like, this is bullshit.
Sorry, sir. Let me get this for you. And then just frantically waves a useless tentacle as if to be like trying to be a useless robot, but not up to the task at all because there's nothing attached. So it's just like using a metal tentacle to whip this mess around.
All right.
Apologies, sir.
So the Oon and the three chrysalids vanish onto the ship. What are y'all gonna do?
Oh, we're
next?
going on the ship clearly because we have to clean this mess up and follow.
I'm going to make my way back around to a less obvious exit, like a kitchen side of things. Wave at the wrath on the way by and be like, "Don't eat the soup," and then
Wait, are we
way.
putting my probe on a ship and leaving the rest of me behind? I thought we were all along for the ride. What's going on here?
That probe is gone. We'll never see it again. Ship takes
Dude.
off. The end of
But
game.
you'll
Good
always
game, guys.
know what that
I'm
luggage
just trying to
is
take a
doing.
less obvious exit than like following the people we just caused a fuss with, and it'll take them a while to like pre-flight check and stuff, right? So we can make our way around to another way, maybe.
You can take, there is a less surreptitious route to get there, and then the four of you meet up. Most of the caterers are staying in the kitchen. There's a few people who are like mostly carters that are bringing luggage on.
Is there a cloakroom?
Yes, there is.
All right, I'm
Based
gonna go
on
there and get us
the
some
map
coats.
that you. Hmm. Gonna steal some alien coats.
Yep.
That'll work.
You manage to find there's no Oon coats because Oons don't generally wear anything.
Well, the pods.
Yeah, you wear the pod, but you're not gonna get a spare pod.
Yeah.
Tell me the truth. One of those isn't a tentacle, is it?
So basically, you
Wow.
just need to find a coat for yourself and for Philip.
And I'll even throw like a cloak type thing on top of MacBack to kind of disguise the droidiness. Or at least have it
You
over
cannot
my arm. Like a
disguise-
really big one.
You cannot just disguise the droidiness of
Yeah.
MacPack. Their face is is one of those. Like Tom would recognize this. You put your hand into it. The pin art model of and I'm a
makes the
hodgepodge
impression.
of junk.
Yeah.
You cannot disguise the
Yeah, you could
droidness.
throw a sheet over it and make it look like a droid with a
sheet.
sheet on it.
All right. I
But
won't
if
do
we're
that then.
pretending to be regal when we sneak in, you could put
I
on
will
purple
grab
and black.
the biggest cloak type coat I can find as well, and I'll put one on and look kind of nice, and
Okay.
do it up to hide the like caterer uniform, and then check out the door, and then be like, okay, ready? Everybody good?
MacPack wishes they had a faux mustache to put on and a purple and black bow tie.
I mean, there's a whole magnet board right there.
Oh, this really specific droid has a different tie. I would never recognize it.
Hey,
Not
no,
me, sir.
that droid had a different tie. Go on it.
It worked for Superman and Clark
Mm.
Kent. So it
That's
must be
true.
true.
That's true.
All right. So after a couple of minutes, the four of you sneak on board with some carters. There are some caterers who are bringing some like fresh food to go. You go in with them, and then when they leave, you just don't. Where on the ship is it's kind of a yacht type ship. It is designed to be fancy and big. It's about 4 times the size of the fruit bat, but kind of has the same crew complement. It's designed to be luxuriant and comfortable, but not, there's nothing special about it. Like, there's no, like, it's not got, like, tons of firearms or super maneuverability.
So how
Does
much
it
time has
have-
passed since the time that we moved around to the other entrance?
It's about an hour. And Brendan?
How easy would it be to extract the quasar crystal fuel from this ship? Like, I
Probably-
assume it's not.
You'd have to have an empty container and then siphon from a full container. You would have to do it in engineering, and you would have to make sure that the engineer didn't find you.
Mhm.
What about if we wanted to like surreptitiously initiate a fuel dump, so it just runs out of fuel like soon?
Given all of it, just seems like such a waste. Given all of the fuel rationing that other people are going through right now.
I just thought that fuel seems to be the most valuable commodity.
Exactly.
in this,
That's true.
in
Yeah,
this
if you
area. So-
if you find like an empty canister, you could take a bunch of their fuel. People are going to notice and people are going to look, but if it's you can work your way around that.
I might take a look in engineering then. I assume that because of the layout of the ship, I would probably know how to find engineering.
Yeah, like ships, like the big star cruisers that are the size of whole cities. Those you need to have like a map for.
Yeah.
But ships these size, like the crew is probably like 5, maybe at most 15, but that's probably like a rotating, like each does like an 8-hour shift. So you can kind of figure like, okay, right now you're in cargo, it's probably in engineering. Engineering is probably close to the bottom. where the bridge is close to the top and the weapons are somewhere in the middle. It's
Mhm.
not, well, it is rocket science, but it's not hard rocket science.
Mhm.
Just when we get to the ship, are we going to go the stealthy route, or are we going to try to con our way? What are we doing?
At the moment you are on the ship, you went on with other
Guests.
employees, and you just have
employees.
not yet left.
Okay, cool.
So can I see what my probe is up to and where it is?
Yeah. Your probe is in the cargo bay B, which is next to the bay that you are currently in.
Hot shit, indeed. Not in the quarters. Person has to take his luggage to carry on, or can't even do a carry on. Okay, so I'm in
So you can go to
luggage.
engineering, you could go to cargo, you could go to the bridge. You've got options.
So the probe's ability right now, just for the rest of the PCs as a reminder, is rolls a D4 on everything except for a D8 plus 1 on dodge, and a device is currently
D8 plus
D6.
1?
Yeah, because the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
we said is mimics
Okay, so yes.
dodge ability.
But
and-
you currently have no dodge. But
No.
you have a D4 in dodge, it has a D8.
No, the thing with dodge was mirrors the dodge skill.
I thought I said that you could transfer dodge for it.
The specific, let me pull it up. The probe mirrors MacPack's dodge skill, but with a +1. That was a separate point, and the probe has 1 HP and reduces MacPack's total HP when deployed.
I mean,
MacPack can deploy the
small.
probe with 2 non-combat skills. So I figured that the dodge was not one of the
okay.
skills.
What I had been thinking was you can transfer your dodge skill to the probe and it would have a +1, but then your dodge would be a D4.
Okay. I'm sorry, I put that at a separate point to try to make it distinct.
Well, it's a good
to me it
old-fashioned
makes
role-playing
sense,
argument. It's time to fight to the death. Nerd slaps.
Not an argument. Let's go with what makes the most sense from a balanced perspective. That's what I'm about.
I'm going to say either you have to transfer your skill to the probe so that it has a dodge skill and you don't, or the probe has like a set dodge, like it's D8 and you can never raise it or transfer stuff for it.
Okay, well, let's go with so just like I can't transfer the devices +1 from MacPack to the probe can't transfer the +1 from a dodge from there, but the rest is, I guess, shuffleable.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
The probe has everything at D4 with dodge +1, and you can transfer any of your skills to it, but then your skill drops to a D4.
The equivalent pip. So if I have like a let's say I have a D8 +4 in sensors at some point, I could transfer 2 pips to it and bring me down to a D10.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you're able to keep track of what your probe has versus what you have.
That is what I do for a living, is keep track of number flows in the shifts. So yes, I can do that. I make colorful graphs even.
All right, so you are on the ship. The luggage that you were following is in the cargo bay next to where you are. Presumably engineering is next to that. Straight ahead and up would be crew quarters and then eventually the bridge.
Okay. I guess right now with the devices aspect, the probe would be best at accessing like information, and or if it gets to a point where it can alter something significant, that could be, but we are trying to keep a low profile here, and I was actually just trying to look for information to steal. So a private office would have been the great place, but the luggage ended up in cargo, so no idea what to do here.
Well, unlock the door and let us in. Tell us if anybody's in
Oh,
there.
is the door locked? I can do that. So Probe is like, so just to reiterate the description of MacPack to describe like where this thing came from is MacPack EQ looks like they shouldn't exist, yet does. Averaging 1.5 meters and technically a quadruped at the moment. They look like a hodgepodge of tech, ports, electromuscle cabling, all from myriad origins, assembled haphazardly by multiple builders, including themselves, and connected by a network of flexible polyhedral blocks that seem to circulate. Their current head has the appearance of electrified opaque pin art with a backlit core that leaks out. The head is capable of morphing to form complex structures, but has found attempts at facial mimicry to be very unsettling to outsiders, so typically limits mimicry to displaying detectable frequencies. So this little
What are you doing, Dave?
Yeah, a polyhedral component was attached and just kind of sprouts up with like these little feelers and starts to like roll along and scout. And my cat is shut in somewhere, so I'll try to be quick. So I'll just say, like, I try to run along and find the nearest port. I'll be back.
Okay.
What is going on, Darcy?
So the MacPack probe opens the connecting door, and now the four of you can, or the three of you, I guess no, still four of you, can enter into the more secluded cargo bay.
Can I quickly use my telepathy to determine whether there are any thinking brains in this this area? I just don't want to walk into like I don't want to have the elevator doors kind of go open and then there's like 50 people all with canapes and cocktails.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll your d6.
Okay, I have to roll a d6 for that, eh?
But you have to do it while you're ignoring the people you're with. Sorry, what was that?
3.
Okay. Yeah, you do a scan of the next room, and as far as you can tell, there is nobody there.
That's wonderful.
Just all droids holding canapes.
You aren't supposed to see this.
Oh God, the soup.
All right, so you go into the next room. You see MacPack's probe. This is where like the nicer luggage is all stored up. You see like the 3 platinum banded Oon boxes. You see a couple of other like more fancy things. Like you see like a box that's like clearly like a gift of some sort, because it's like a wooden, well, not wood, it's like made out of the trees from knotwood, so it's like shaved mushroom pieces that are kind of constructed into a nice sturdy looking box for shipping. So there's probably something nice in that. Yeah, there's a variety of things that you could purloin here. I guess the question is, A, how you can get it off the ship, and B, you're in space. Where are you going to go?
Did it already take off?
Jackpot!
Yes, it is in the process of taking off right now.
Shit.
Oh.
Well, you know what? No, the whole idea was we hopefully meet up with Peeps and Tante.
That might change things if we're busy taking off, though.
What if we cause some kind of a system malfunction that forces them to land again?
You can do that.
I could do that.
Or we can find an escape.
Sorry, rather, I could do that. The probe could do that.
I've got to head back to engineering anyways, or I want to try and check out engineering because
I'm gonna see if I can find some escape pods.
We could.
So
yeah,
bring me, bring probe me, because that will I can interface with the in engineering and maybe do something about that.
So Vanessa and MacPack are heading to engineering, and Tom is heading to escape pods.
Sorry, have I met up with my probe? Because
Yes.
I thought that they were with my. Okay, sweet. So I'm back with me again.
You can recombine, or you can stay separate. It's up to you.
Disturbing.
No, that's work. I'm like, let's not split the party.
All right.
Well, you're already splitting because Tom is heading off looking for escape
I'll go
pods.
along with that way, but keep my eyes open for the escape pods, just in case. That's
where
the
would
route.
escape pods? Where would they typically be on a ship?
On a
this size?
yacht, not in engineering, because they don't care about the people who are working here. They're probably going to be in the crew quarters up on the second floor, maybe a few in the bridge for like the captain or whoever's like hanging out in that room. There might be one in engineering, but it's unlikely. They probably have like 2 on the second floor and then 2 on the third floor.
All right. Maybe we need to scratch that plan and just head into engineering.
Yeah,
I can maybe cause some kind of an issue with the warp core, hopefully not kill us all, and then that might sort of force them to, and then we just hide, they're forced to land, and then we just sneak away with whatever luggage we can carry.
Okay.
So you guys want to try that?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Hey, Philip, if you see anything that looks expensive, let me know. We'll put it in the droid.
Ooh.
Makes you think I have drawers.
All right, so you open up the door to get into engineering.
Have we grabbed all the valuables?
You're gonna like pick up boxes full of stuff.
Crack them open, see what's inside, maybe. Back in the cargo bay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
Lock the door.
Yeah, roll me a d6.
Me? Okay.
Everybody.
4.
Oh, everybody rolls a d6. Roll a d6. Great song. Oh, not bad. 5.
These dice. 6.
Philip.
5.
Nice.
Wow.
So everyone's got like a 4, 5, or 6. Yeah, it's kind of jackpot. Like, Vanessa cracks open a crate and finds just some gorgeous flatware, like silver lined plates. You've got forks, you've got knives, you've got some oon spoons.
Oh, great. Oon spoons. I rolled 4 and I got oon spoons.
Can MacPack be focusing
open
on
it up
data
and it's
pads?
just like it's
they're
just
prehensile
filled with implosion
tentacle
grenades.
things to go in the
No.
tube and up to the mouth, and then you come back out.
There's probably a few hundred credits worth of stuff in there.
I'm not sure if that's a horror movie or porn, Todd.
I'm just thinking practical.
Tom opens up one of the platinum bound cases, and it's like just piles of books on like actual paper books, which
I'm gonna dump those out and keep the platinum box.
Okay. You wouldn't know this, but they don't print anything on paper anymore. Those are all antiques.
I know.
You
To
dump them on
me,
the
I'm
floor.
just like books. Everybody has those. I was born almost 1,000 years ago, so it's.
If anyone else cares, he's dumping
This
priceless
is
books out of the
metagaming adulters.
Well, would
No,
be,
Shaka
I think
Spear?
I
What the
would
hell
like
is that?
books.
Dump that noise.
I don't know. I want to
alright.
have analog books.
Yeah, let's pick up the books.
What? Why?
I don't. MacPack just
This is
kind of like
platinum.
bops you out. Just again, whips you with the wet noodle again. Just tell you later.
MacPack, the box that they crack open is just filled with furs, like luxurious furs. Like there's a fur coat, there's a fur blanket. Furs are extra hard to come by because it's space. Someone's probably sleeping on these. It's probably like their extra fancy thing. and Philip cracks open a box, and it's just piles of credits, maybe 500 credits.
Okay, that's good. Simple.
Yeah, but what's the box
Backpack,
like?
You don't have to go around trying to sell silverware.
Meanwhile, while Tom is looking at these books, like, okay, what everybody has them. Macpac is looking at these furs. Can't use these. But then grabs like what looks to be a mink scarf
And the
in
ship
mauve and is like,
taking
well, this
off.
one. Like, okay, let's go. So Macpac grabs all of them, wraps the furs around them, and walks out almost like a waddling penguin in a fur coat, in a mink coat.
I'm gonna go out and just kind of get
Let's
eyes
go!
on the hall before. Oh, never mind. He's already out, so I'm gonna go after
We
him.
don't have
Look for-
time. Instead of
Everyone else
taking
is
off,
strapped
let's
in their
go.
launch seats. We're fools, like flung from edge to edge inside the ship, probably.
Yep.
Well, it's taking off. We can leave right now, right? Still?
Well, it's in the process of taking off, which means it's, beginning to raise.
Okay.
Could we jump? Or is it like left the atmosphere?
It's not left the atmosphere, but if you did jump, it would be you and all of
free
your
fall.
stolen equipment jumping from a ship into
First
the,
falling
fall.
into everyone.
into the courtyard where the ship just left, where
Mhm.
there's like the big wrath standing by, making sure everything's done correctly.
And I'm
Alright.
pretty sure the flatware would survive the fall. Damn
Yeah,
it.
the Oon Spoons would.
And the furs will be scattered to oblivion.
Not the book.
Hmm.
I will keep
Now
the
you
books.
learn.
You can have the credits.
All right. I guess we're stuck here for a bit. Shit.
Can we-
Well,
Okay,
we're
can
going
we
to
try
see
this,
well, I don't
let's
know
go
why
get-
the plan changed.
Yeah, let's go screw engineering over.
Okay.
All right.
Let's maybe go in. Is there any like barracks or crew quarters,
Crew quarters
laundry
are second floor.
facilities? Okay.
And when we're
Do you mind
talking
a
about
detour?
screwing,
We could put on a uniform if you think we have
You're
time.
already wearing uniforms.
Can I offer you an
no.
hors d'oeuvre, sir?
So you are currently almost next to engineering, and the quarters would
Never
be
mind.
up on the second floor.
Let's just freeform.
and if we're gonna fuck up engineering, we might be best to do it when we're not doomed to crash. And so we're in the process of going into space. It is probably at this point best to wait until we get into space if we're going to fuck up engineering.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
falling down, I might survive, but
What do I see in engineering?
Are you mentally looking or are you physically looking?
I'm gonna physically go in there.
Okay. So you open up the door to go into engineering, and you see a beautiful warp core that is like running very smoothly. Everything's super clean. You see the console for all of the warp maintenance and like use. There's also a subsection there that also has sensors and shields if it comes up, so that whoever is in the warp coil doesn't have to run to a different part of the ship if they're needing to do something there. And there is a chrome and plastic droid who's like standing next to the warp coil with like 6 set of arms are working one side of the panel, and the other 6 are working a different side.
Is there any other entity or thing here?
There is a chrysalid that is kind of like sitting on the far side of engineering, sitting on like one of those folding lawn chairs, and it's got its PV out, and he's like watching videos. You hear like the sound of like somebody falling and kind of
So MacPack looks around for hopefully an inconspicuous port to just while following along to interface with, because we are in engineering after all. Do I find one at all?
For a port, sure.
Want me to roll devices?
Yeah, see, what does everyone want to do? I'll go the order that I have. I've got Vanessa, Tom, MacPack, Philip. What does Vanessa want to do?
I'm going to just roll my warp to see whether there's anything that I can perceive about this warp engine that might be notable, or maybe that I could sort of like say, I'm here to take a look at the warp engine.
Sure.
I can see that there's an issue here, and maybe even if Tom will assist with a guile roll, we might even be able to persuade these guys that there's some kind of radiation leak, and that they need to get out. It'd be difficult to persuade a droid of that, but there you go.
Well, you could also
pose
as me as your servile droid, by the way.
I keep my coat done up, the fancy one I stole, and I look around. Oh yes, but ours is twice as large. Fine.
I rolled a 2, so
I'm gonna be pretending like I'm getting the tour, and I'm the elegant guest.
So Vanessa knows that this is a top of the line warp engine. They sometimes have an issue with re-entry pop, but most engines do. All right, and Tom is pretending to be a fancy schmancy.
And I've got
give me a
Philip, I'm going to pretend like Philip is a servant, and he's showing me around.
Okay,
and same
can I get a guile roll?
I already rolled, but that's okay. I rolled a 6 on a d8, so that's not a crit. But I get a total of 8.
That's pretty good.
I must say.
MacPack.
Ours is more impressive, but it will suffice for the short journey.
MacPack, while in the midst of this commotion, tries to follow behind Tom as the arrogant caterer and butler, carrying some bags and parcels contain of the finest furs and
don't forget my things,
and a box of credits. Yes, I was wishing I had the wet noodle right now. But also, while passing by, noticing a nearby port and like, I have that one. Let's see. I rolled a 3 + 1, so 4.
Okay, what are you trying to do?
I am trying to interface with the engineering system to get an idea for its fuel system and its computer core.
Okay, you get a pretty good idea on that. It's a newer ship. It's maybe 3/4 full of fuel. It's run pretty well.
Okay, and the computer core, sorry?
Well, the computer, the whole ship is run by the same computer, so it's not a different section for engineering versus the rest of the ship. There's no AI, there's no autopilot kind of thing. So the computer system is designed to keep the ship running well, but it's not anything special.
Okay. And just in case, let's hope not, can I get a sense of its defense and combat systems?
You get a 3?
4. It's 3 + 1.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. You can't get anything specific.
Okay.
And Philip, what are you gonna do?
Well, I guess I was gonna start explaining what the room is to the precious guest. But depending if you say it's a D6 or a D4, I think it would be Guile.
Mm-hmm.
Most it's a D4, but I roll a D6, but I intend to keep the D6 result anyway because I don't think it changed. So I think I prefer to keep the one that I rolled on the D6 and be like, this is the fridge area, the kitchen. You can see here the oven, finest oven.
So
the ship.
The droid kind of like pauses in what it's doing and kind of like turns like a monitor toward you, and the chrysalid like looks up from its PV and is like, "Hey, you guys are supposed to be in here."
Sorry, I was supposed to bring the soup, but I messed up.
The
The
chrysalid
soup is
starts
all
walking
over
toward
the
you
floor.
and like it's kind of like sauntering. PCs go.
Oh crap. Well, you're first, Vanessa.
In turn
Take us down.
order.
Yep, you are.
Before we begin combat, did I happen to notice whether there are like spare fuel like containers?
Yes, there
Okay.
are like
And
there's one.
Okay.
There's two that are empty.
Oh, they're empty. There's no full ones sitting
Wait,
around.
did I happen to get a sense from the computer core and/or mainframe as to how many passengers, like how many people are on board the ship that we're dealing with?
You know that the crew complement is probably 5, could be as high as 15. You didn't get a crew. You didn't get a passenger or manifest though.
Okay.
Oh, I think when I apologized, I was looking at them in the eyes. Eye contact, really, my act, because that's how I failed. I was like, I'm sorry,
Crit
but
fail.
looking in the eyes.
You acknowledge them as a human being. How dare
Is
you?
there like an alarm switch panel somewhere in the room that I
Oh
can
yeah,
see?
like it's engineering. There's like big red buttons to slap down everywhere in case of warp problems.
Shit. There's not like just one that I can shoot to prevent them from like bringing down the heat.
Oh
It's like-
yeah, no.
Can I
there's-
hack it?
there's-
It's like that scene in A New Hope. We just start blasting everything in the room.
Boring conversation anyway.
Can I try to hack it?
You can try.
No.
That's
Let's do this in
I'm third go, so it's just I do have devices.
So there's one on the warp core itself. There's one on the panel that the droid is working on. And there's one on the wall next to you.
Can we? I feel like these guys are just like employees. I feel bad about killing them. Tom, do you want to maybe try to talk these guys down? Do like a guile roll? I mean, they said,
I'm
"Hey, you're
going
not supposed
to-
to be here."
You look at me, and I'm like,
Yeah, telepathically, I'm
plasma
just sort of
sword.
like,
And I aim it at the
shit.
droid's face, and I'm like,
You know,
Move.
I could just
you
try
die.
to
I'm gonna intimidate.
hack the computer to emulate an evacuation protocol.
That's too late.
okay.
Scare the crap out of this guy.
So,
Keep your
with-
robot mitts.
So what
off
are we
that guy.
doing? Are we doing Brendan wandering, Todd swordmongering, or me trying to put an evacuation
Todd
protocol?
came first. There's some sword mongering.
yeah, so I'm going to like with my miner, I'm gonna try to like go towards the door and seal the door as best I can. And I rolled a 2 with my disintegration ray, so I'm gonna try to shoot the chrysalid while I'm also trying to take the basically seal the door.
Okay. So 2 against the chrysalid. Where's my dice? He manages to dodge. You're like, what the hell?
He was sitting in a folding chair.
He got up to come toward you.
Oh boy.
All right, and you and try to intimidate the droid.
Yeah.
What's
Is that a
your
guile?
what's your guile? Yep.
8.
The droid pulls all 6 of its arm things away from the panel. It's like, yes, sir. All right.
This
Back
is as
back.
far as I thought it out, guys.
Oh, bitch. I don't want to do any of this. Why the shit are we like attacking everybody? I don't know. I feel like Pinhead now. which makes sense for the character, but I don't want to be like, we have such wonderful sights to show you.
Well, we haven't killed anybody yet.
What are you talking about? We killed people.
I mean,
I
today.
haven't killed anyone here.
In
All
this,
right,
we're having this conversation out loud in front of them.
So, well, the whole thing about this is we are now engaged in combat. It's not like we can lie our way out of this
Technically,
from
it's
here.
piracy
Well,
at this point.
thanks, Tips. How would you know? You just woke up from a freezer. And
Pirates
pirates
been around for a long time.
True. We can't invoke parlay.
All right, MacBeth, what do you want to do?
So MacPack is going to roll devices to try to hack. We are in engineering, has noticed a port, and we'll try to hack into the computer core to get it to fake a warp core breach
Actually,
and
let's let the
cause an
warp guy do
evacuation
that.
alarm. You are already brandishing a sword,
No, that's
and it's my turn
I am,
now.
but I
So
meant the Un.
yes, yeah,
But that's cool.
The
So you-
Un, the Un already decided to attack at the first round, which set
This is
this whole thing in motion. So now device person is going to do this.
Do it up.
Four. Wait, a 5.
Okay.
That's good.
Tie goes to coin toss. You want high or low?
What? Low.
No, I went high. So your attempt to make the computer think that there's a weak warp core breach did not work. The number I decided that you had to meet or beat was 5, and you rolled a 5. Ergo, tie, coin toss. Philip.
I would just try to talk to the small one, like, it was an error, a mistake, I'm sorry, I was not, like, I got stuck here, I was supposed to bring the soup bag, and I roll a 3 on Guile.
So, he's been shot at, and there's a flaming sword, and now one of them is like, I'm not supposed to be here. He's like, I don't believe you at all, man. Neither of them are doing anything for their combat round. The droid is still like hands up, and the chrysalid is also like, just don't kill us, guys.
That's what I want to do. You don't believe me.
You guys want to
Right,
join
what
a pirate crew?
And Vanessa and Tom just had to just go off the rockers.
You feel the ship entering or leaving atmosphere.
All right, we gotta figure out how to turn this thing around. I'm just
So
saying
it's back
things,
to
I'm not
Vanessa.
doing anything.
What do you want to do?
MacPack wants to say to Tom from a forgotten memory, he's like, hey Tom, you remember Pulp Fiction? You're kind of a man of plumber right now.
Thought it was Vanessa's turn.
Yeah, it's Vanessa's
Brennan's
turn.
first.
It's top of the round.
Okay.
It's Vanessa,
I-
Tom, MacPack, Philip.
I guess I'm just gonna keep shooting. This time I got 4.
So
don't
they're
need
both
to
like,
lie.
don't kill us. And you take a
They're
shot.
compliant.
Yeah.
What the hell?
This one
All right.
bloodthirsty Un.
You take your shot. That's a hit. What the fuck? Tom.
Didn't know you were such a vigilante, Vanessa.
Is the chrysalid still alive or is it dead?
It
It's
is
still
still
alive.
alive. It is wounded.
Okay. We need to get off this ship. Are we in space yet, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, we're in
Left out.
space.
All right.
We should have gotten off the ship a while ago. Thanks for catching up.
Can we dump the warp core?
Why?
I don't know.
I don't.
We're
think you
still
can do
stuck
that.
on this ship.
And we're all stuck.
How did that just
could-
makes everyone?
yeah,
it just
you could
makes our problem
theoretically-
perpetually
you could
infinite. What's the
theoretically set the warp core to be ejected into space. It would take like 5-10 minutes to do. There would be a massive alarm for the entire 10 minutes.
What's the point?
I don't know. I saw it on an episode of Star Trek. I'm working on outdated information.
You probably saw it on at least
I have a
7
light
plus
sword. Oh, that's
episodes
cool.
of Star Trek. It doesn't mean it's a good idea.
I have 72% of my occipital lobe is suffering from brain freeze.
Thank you for reminding us that we should not ask your opinion.
Why did I give you
hijack
my
the ship.
transponder? Tell me why I give you my transponder.
Can we seize control of the ship from engineering, or do we need to be on the bridge to do that?
Yeah, you can there's enough of a control panel down here that you could conceivably reroute everything down there. You wouldn't be able to get access to the weapon systems, but you could probably get warp and pilot and shields.
Okay.
Well, that's
I could try to
decent enough.
again on my turn, I guess.
Is that like a repair roll?
It gets devices.
Yeah, you can give it a try for the repair.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
have repair, Vanessa?
Yes, he's control in some way.
I
Yeah,
will
that'll
check.
buy us time. Great idea.
Vanessa does not have repair. Vanessa has warp and sensors.
No. Well, that's the thing. I'm wondering if somebody else can do it.
I have
I
repair.
can do devices, repair, or sensors.
All right, so Tom was brandishing a sword and acting crazy. Are you going to do anything else for your turn?
For me?
Does somebody want to control Tom?
No, I'm not the one shooting anybody.
I'm disintegrating people over like flatware and cutlery.
That
a
ood
picture of
spoon is
control.
mine.
There's more than one ood spoon. There's like a whole bunch of them.
Okay, we can share. We need to cause some distraction, and we need to get the hell off the ship. So
I think
can
you're already causing the distractions.
only
right
these
now.
two know about it so far, and no offense, but this one's not going to talk if we stop shooting. And the other one, well, TBD. But we need to get off the ship.
You could load a bunch of stuff into the engineering escape pod and just blast off toward
Okay.
toward home.
Okay.
But
I'm
there's
gonna
nothing
compose
stopping the
a-
ship from turning around and firing at you.
So rig it to go to warp on a countdown. Will it load up the escape pod, and just like a few seconds before the countdown is done, we jettison, and then and then we will take the escape pod where we need to go.
I like this plan.
Or
And
We
I'm
could
going to do
tell
one more
everybody
thing.
Plus
else-
fuel.
we
We
could
should take some fuel.
Absolutely.
or
And we're going to load both of these crew members that we just kidnapped. Sorry, boys. We're going to put them in the pod with us, so there's no witnesses. And we're going to craft. And I'm going to craft. Somebody can craft a resignation letter.
okay.
This job
So
sucks.
far, you two are the top of the round, and your two actions have been really stupid. For
This one's
both
going to
rounds.
change. This one's the
Yeah,
good
this
one.
one's been
Don't
great.
worry.
I got a good feeling about this.
I
All right,
brandish
so-
the light sword, and I'm just new to this thing. Like, I'm almost clipping people. Everybody's ducking.
Well, you're also
I'm like,
relying on
"Get in
other
there."
people to do things in the following round, where you're just brandishing stuff.
I
So
mean, I could-
you're trying to tell me you want me to do something?
No, I thought
Okay, so
because-
I'm gonna roll warp for this plan.
Okay.
And I rolled my third 2 of the night.
it's not a
All
one.
right. Well, you're pretty sure that you have put some warp commands in. MacPack, what do you want to do?
Oh, I'm like, do we set up an escape pod, or do we convince everybody else to want to take an escape pod? Because
No,
if we
just
do,
us.
why? Because if they all leave, we have the ship, we have the fuel, and these are all a bunch of self-righteous pricks. And the crew, well, they might want to stick around. They just seem like fine. Just getting the
that
pricks
one's
to
been
leave,
damaged.
right? But I don't know whether to.
I don't need a collect. We don't need an armada. Let's get the hell out of here with what we came for.
But the accent. All right, fine. Fuck it. I'll do it. I'll do that. I guess. What do I need to do to try to? I'm already carrying the bags, as I
Erase
stated.
the cameras.
So
maybe.
One thing at a time.
Okay.
I'm already carrying the bags, and so I guess I'm wheeling while they're doing their weird brandishing stuff and killing people.
Shooting it. No one's been killed yet.
I'm heading towards this escape pod, almost like C-3PO, but I'm just as crass as R2-D2 at the moment. What do I roll for
didn't
that?
say it was a good plan.
To carry stuff to the escape pod, you can.
I
just
guess
do that.
nothing.
Yeah.
So on the way, I guess, is there anything you want me to try to interface, like hack?
Maybe the cameras.
There was a request to hack the security logs.
Yeah, let's do that. I should have looked at the dice before I picked it up and rolled again, but whatever. That's another 3 + 1 4.
You do your best. You root around in the most recent mainframe stuff. You grab some info and move it around. You're pretty sure it worked. Philip, what are you
Crime
gonna
of
do?
the century, guys. Crime of the
I'm
century.
gonna say, stop shooting! Stop shooting! Dude,
About time.
hold your sword with your 2 hands. 2 hands on the sword.
I got it. I'm just gonna. I'm brand new at this.
Say,
I'm gonna say
got it
after
with
this.
1 hand on your sword. Like, it's just like.
Can I
Okay.
say
Every
that
time you
after this
gesture,
I
you
go up
burn
in a
a-
pip, but not before. I'm gonna roll my d4 for brandishing. Yeah, that's a 2.
Dun, dun,
Don't cut off
dun,
a
dun,
hand.
dun, dun, dun.
I'm good.
Okay, just let's provoke an emergency landing something. Can like the Chrysalid, like can you just provoke like emergency and we have to land down?
Wait. We're going on the escape pod, which is I'm
It's
already
not big.
here with the
It's
luggage.
not big enough for 4.
Oh, is that what?
Oh,
was that?
yeah, I never actually thought about that. I would say it's a yacht. Yes, it's big enough for all 4 of you plus the boxes because it's
The luggage.
almost midnight.
I already scrubbed the security logs. Philip, let's go. Let's just go.
Okay.
We've got what we came for. Let's just hop in.
Okay, don't shoot. I'm not talking to the Chrysalid. I'm talking to Venice. Stop it.
Yeah, just Vanessa.
I'm
Don't
gonna
shoot.
use
Tom,
like a spray water bottle and just spray at Venice.
Stop.
I'll extinguish the laser sword and put it on my hip and just feel like the freaking boss because I'm like living my Jedi dreams right now.
Okay,
So the
nobody
thanks,
moves.
Flash.
We're never here.
Yeah, you guys were never here.
I'm gonna take some of the platinum or the credits, just a few, like a mitt full of them, and I'll tuck it in the Chrysalid's like pocket and be like, sorry about the whole chick stick scars.
Shooting you.
All right, so you've got like a couple of minutes till the warp that you program takes effect. Are you gonna do anything, or are you just gonna like load your shit into the escape pod and blast off?
Let's blast off, but does anybody have like a good piloting role?
I do.
For a few minutes, we're gonna get shot at.
I could just picture us
I'm
in the
decent.
escape pod.
Wait, before we go, can I try to...
Jam the weapon system?
Well, I already hacked the security logs. I think maybe, we don't know. We'll find out. But can I try to either jam the weapon systems? Like, is the crew aware of like the blast attack from Vanessa and Tom?
It's a single disintegration ray blast. It's like, pew.
Okay, so that was okay. That was fine.
Yeah. Well, as far as you know.
I'll just hack the I can't hack all the weapon systems. I don't know what weapon systems that they have.
So
I can't
from
try to
down
turn them
here,
off.
we could control navigation. We just couldn't do weapons, right?
Yeah, you got shields, warp, and pilot.
I'm gonna force the pilot to. I'm gonna try to make the pilot's system try to start to veer off as if one engine is firing on one side and it's off kilter and starting to spin out before it goes to warp.
Okay.
What do I roll for that?
Pilot.
That's a 2.
Okay. You
So I
start
didn't
to...
make it blow up.
No, you did not make it blow up. So you start to move the ship off course, and it's quickly righted back to where it's supposed to be.
Poop. All right,
Anybody else?
Philip, you're next. You have pilot.
Yeah,
You
I'm
do
gonna
it, pilot.
try and gonna show you amateur.
Gotta
6.
do it. Yay!
Hey.
All right. So, yep. You are much better at putting the ship off course.
Just to give us an extra time for the time that.
Okay, so yeah, so
Charging
the
the-
people on the bridge are confused, the people on engineering are frightened, the crew at the weapons systems are unaware of what's going on. So
Wow.
the 4 of you pile into the escape pod and hit the escape pod button and blast out.
So
Nah,
what I
back
did
off,
with the
grabs it
piloting
from-
is I just put like the joystick stuck to the left, so it just completely just like drifts slowly to the left all the time, and you're like, what's going
That's
on?
just annoying. That's just like, oh, God.
Wait, hold your fire. There are no life signs aboard. Conserving ammo?
As you are floating away, you look through the viewfinder behind you, and you see the yacht is veering off to the left, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a ship pulls out of warp right next to it and just starts unloading lasers into it. Like massive blasting. There's a torpedo that flies over and blows up on the side of it. And then the escape pod goes into atmosphere. And you are safe from that.
Well,
Oh, good thing.
guess I
Good
didn't
thing,
have to
good
hack
thing
the
we didn't
computer
hurt those
system.
people.
Oh, why'd you
it's-
give them the credits?
Yeah. That could
Well,
have been a smoothie.
Let's get back to Knotwood so I can like set up a little soapbox and see if I can convince poor people to buy expensive silverware.
You can give out wedding presents to the various refugees that we saved.
Yeah.
All right, so you
Of course it ends. like
pilot
that.
back down to Knotwood. You've probably got $1,200 or 1,200 credits worth of stuff. You just have to find someone who will, fence it for you. Luckily, you've got straight up credits. So congratulations on robbing a megacorp ship.
Yeah, we gotta give 10% to like our fixer, so
It's still
Yeah, but the
1,080
only thing of
credits.
value is the credit, so we get 50 50 credits on the 500.
Yeah,
Why do you
guys,
think
let's-
the only value
it's
is in
not
Plus the
just
credits?
friendship you made along the way.
It's
Credits
the,
represent
it's that,
goods and
and
services.
it's the story. Like, I got to be a laser sword wielding space pirate, and I will roll for wielding again.
Plus,
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
you
you hit
spilled your
yourself in
coffee
the neck.
while doing it again, and like
In the
you
what?
I
just
look
love-
at,
I said you
I
hit
look
yourself
at
in the
you-
neck with it. It's
So
Like,
we've got
it's like-
also furs
Chicks
and we've
dig
got
scars.
books. Remember,
I
So-
come and like check on your neck if you're fine, and then while I do it, I get the transponder and put it on MacPack.
you
You're
are not
gonna
a
be
trustworthy
fine.
person.
MacPack was like, you know what I'll do with this, right? And-
Well, if you keep it and you don't put it on your what happened if you put it on your sensor?
There is no one trustworthy with that thing. You got Murder Oon up there.
Well, I would have given it to Vanessa until she
You got
stopped
Brain
shooting.
Freeze. Well, we should come up with names. My street handle could be Brain Freeze.
Yeah.
I want to call
Anyway.
you.
I gotta
Anyway.
pee real bad. I'll be right back.
How about this?
Good.
This next thing, we'll take audience suggestions, by the way, for this. If anybody wants to make suggestions for like nicknames for the crew, because we shouldn't use our real names. I think, I don't know about Vanessa, but I think the Phase Hippo, we should call them House. What do you think?
Hippo.
Yeah? Yeah?
Well,
Like
it's up to you, Philip. Like you're the phase hippo.
Yeah, I do like face hippo. And by the way, in French, this the house hippo was not translated word for word. They were saying hippo de famille, so like family hippo.
Aww.
Oh, that's
That's
cute.
kinda
That's
cute.
adorable.
No,
No,
it
so-
should be hippo de maison.
Hippo de maison, but I remember the ad and
No,
they were said
yeah,
hippo de
the-
famille.
That's why like it's so much cuter. Hippo de
That's-
maison like also sounds cute, but the famille like oh come on.
And the house, I don't mind the house at all. That's a good one. Brain freeze is good.
What about Vanessa, the psychic Oon jelly with an itchy trigger finger?
I don't know. Maybe we can. I don't want to put it to a vote, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Uh,
we can just
What about
brainstorm, spitball.
what about stop it?
Yeah, you don't want to ask me.
Itchy trigger tentacle? No, it's too long.
Yeah, too long.
Please don't equate tentacles to
we
Vanessa
do.
more than they already are.
What we call her Doc?
What Doc?
Just Doc.
Oh,
It's a
Doc.
classic
Yeah.
good name for that sort of thing.
Sure.
Do you have any medical background?
No, but
Brendan?
they have a doctorate in something. No, the scientist.
Yeah.
Dr.
The backstory is that that she deals with like subatomic particles. That's why the neutrino cannon is sort of her like knack. You know, how everybody has a knack for one skill.
Yeah. Doc's pretty good. I mean, you have to be smart for that kind of thing. We're coming up with the nicknames after the heist.
Yeah.
You know, like you do.
Shoots first, soup fucker.
Oh god, I guess I could
Spills the
go by
beans.
soup.
Soup. Yeah.
Yeah. Soup de loop.
I was sure for the second game in a row that you guys were gonna, use your ship to attack another ship. And for the second game in a row, instead of attacking a ship, you guys are like, let's sneak on board and do some weird stuff.
Apparently, the future doesn't believe in locks. It's like simple
Meanwhile,
solution here, folks.
And we spent so much time, or I did, figuring out like our mutual ship skills, so we didn't have overlap, and then we didn't use them at all.
Yeah, I feel like
What do
next
we
game
do?
will be, all
We
right,
send
so
them
you're
on an
on the
errand."
ship. You're flying in space right now, and you see some guys, and you're gonna fight them with the ship.
I'm gonna put on a spacesuit.
And then with the
Yeah,
report
I'm good
them.
with that. In fact, though, in fairness, it's your fault because you presented with us in such detail a more opportunistic scenario that we're just like, well, we obviously are gonna do this.
We are clearly gonna go be total just fuck up and go and rob the rich
It's
people.
like, okay, I can pretend to be a caterer and hope that I don't get caught for several hours, or I can fly my hot space Corvette and kill a bunch of rich people. I think I want to pretend to be a caterer.
Never can tell what's gonna happen.
Is the caterer simple? What the hell?
Sorry, my
Oh,
voice changer
it works
kicked in. I don't know what the
because-
hell that was.
I guess it works because they don't expect it. It's that they have a nice ship. Why would they come in as catering crew?
Oh, I should have said, aren't you a bit short for a caterer?
That's
And-
still
and
good.
plus-
That still works.
Plus, most of us have the knowledge. Is it back knowledge? Whatever. Whatever we do, we know that Devin will spin it in a way that we're evil.
Not
So it's like,
necessarily.
well, we might as well have some fun along the way. It's
I'm
like,
gonna
hey, we
rescue the
these
orphans.
people.
But
No,
are they
these
eating
insane
soup?
people from prison?
Oh, and the thing on top is all my skills, all my personal skills are all offensive or defensive. I don't have device, I don't have sensor, I don't have guile.
Actually, your guile was pretty damn hilarious.
Yeah,
You're like,
I'm not saying
I feel like we
that-
practiced that like on the way to the catering event so much so you just default into like cater mode.
Good shit.
And,
Stuck
and
in
for the
cater
record, Devin, this is like wizard level skills. When you find you've planned an adventure and we do like nothing that you're expecting.
I'm not complaining. I'm
Yeah,
just
and you
saying
still
that
went
this is
along with the
second game
flow.
in a
Like
row
this is just
where I was
this is just
expecting.
yeah. Major props for this. Like mad respect.
It's all about
Thank
those
you for dealing-
improv.
Thanks for going
next
so
mission
well
will
with
be
the
to go
flow
Yeah.
of our insanity.
Next mission, we'll go to a bar, and then we will succeed by going into a ship and shooting the bar from space.
Okay, that bar is going down.
Next time we
knows what
might
it
find
did.
ourselves going to a bar, getting punched lights out, being put on
Yeah.
our ship, and being forced in a combat scenario just because.
So I will let you guys know that the ship that attacked the yacht was a rival pirate ship.
I just
And they
assumed
got
it was
a-
Dante.
like- no, you would have noticed you would have recognized the freak. That
If it's our ship, it would be, oh, okay.
Oh, that's how you do
I
it.
was like, oh, you should pick us up. Oh.
Oh, sorry about that.
Hang
Too
on for
bad.
re-entry. If anybody has ideas for a name
So-
for tonight's
Wait,
thing,
were you finished with your description about the
Oh,
rival
yeah, I wanna hear
pirate
that too,
faction?
sorry. to pitch
that was well, that's all you're gonna get. Like you saw a ship pull out a warp and attack the yacht. So
And obliterate it in seconds.
well, you didn't see that much.
Oh,
They did
yeah.
fire a torpedo and shoot lasers, so that's not looking good.
Let's get that shit.
As for a name for the game, I'm gonna suggest the soup fuckers.
I don't really want to get flagged on YouTube.
The soup fornicators.
Let's go with
That's way better.
Super.
the
The super heist.
the
Super
Trooper
heist
Supers,
crew.
the Trooper Supers, or the Soup Troopers, or the Soup Troop, or Trooper Supers.
Adventures in
Super soup.
catering.
Oh, that's
Adventures in
pretty
Catering.
good.
Yeah,
I like that one. I like that one. I like them all. Well, thanks very much for running the game and for joining in the nonsense. And hey, internet, thanks very much for joining us in the nonsense. We like to play, hopefully weekly. You can check back here. You can also check back and see all the previous games that we have posted up on the interwebs. There's D&D, there's Shadowrun, there's Rediscovered World, there's Wanderverse, which is the most recent sci-fi one, and more. So go check that out, and you can find us on all the podcast places. And do me one more favor: if you've made it this far, please click the subscribe, to like, the follow, or the just throw the word around or something. I don't know what I'm saying. Go.
Go fuck some soup.
Go fuck some soup. Yes. All right. Have yourself a great night. Good night.
Run. Run.